I'm really nervous. I'm going to tap for a second if that's okay. And sit down. Okay. Oh, this chair. I'm in the front. Oh. I'm going to hold the monkey. I'm going to pet the monkey. Okay, let it go. This is how I've gotten through everything. It's amazing. And that's what I wanted to share, is this. This is a great demonstration of how this has worked so powerfully for me. And, when I got here, I wanted to hide in the back because I have healed a lot. I'm gonna cry. I'm just gonna let you know that, okay? And I'm okay with that today, again, because of FasterEFT. Some of you may know I had just a few health challenges, just a few, meaning that I had a lot for a lot of years, 16 years of very severe chronic illness that included dying, almost dying, having crash carts called on me, lots of severe medical trauma. And see, that's not the part that makes me cry anymore. The part that makes me cry is how different my life is today. You guys, if you want the big changes, you got to go to the hard places and you got to tap that crap out. And that's what I am so grateful to Robert and to this system, because I have been searching for a healing tool for so many years. I mean, just everywhere, and I've said this before, I knew I would get better, but I didn't know how. And I have been looking for that thing, I've really been looking for that thing. And I discovered neuroplasticity last year, actually, different neuroplasticity. And it opened my mind up to this idea of, okay, there's a mind-body connection that our brain actually drives, especially with chronic illness, pain. We talk about pain a lot, but there are a lot, I didn't relate to the pain thing. I had a lot of chronic pain. I had tons of chronic pain, but I just wanted to stop fainting, have my heart rate be normal, not be in a wheelchair all the time, be able to raise my children and enjoy my husband and not spend 8 months in the hospital in a row, it was a little hard. But it's over. And my life now, thank you. It is over. And I say that I explain where I come from, and it doesn't feel real anymore, because my life is healthy now. And it's, the joy, the freedom, it's hard to explain what it's like to go from living in this little tiny existence. And Jean has taught, I've worked a lot with Jean, and she talked about that, and that's what resonated with me. When your existence has shrunk down to just this tiny little, I was in a bed trying to raise my children. I would faint when I was sitting up. I couldn't walk to the bathroom. I was full of anxiety and fear, food reactions, still working through those, but they're getting better. I'm in a room full of nuts, literally and figuratively. But I love you all. I'm with you. But seriously, the smell of peanuts. See, I'm talking. I'm still working through it. But that didn't come from me. That was over there. Thank you. But the smell of peanuts used to cause my whole side of my face to swell up. My throat would close just from the smell. Numb, tingling, all the bad, scary things. And I have been in this room full of people eating nuts for the whole week, and I'm fine. I didn't even notice, and I was like, holy crap, there are nuts everywhere. Yes, this is great. And we're all a little nutty too, and that's great too, and I love it. So, well, I'm nutty at least. I don't know about you guys. But, yeah. And see, I get excited, and it's funny, my body has done a lot of healing, and my brain is still catching up with the healing that my body's experienced. Because just from flipping with this amazing system that Robert, and I've sent Robert these gushing messages, something big happens, and I'm like, Robert, I really appreciate you, the system so much, and my life is so great. And then he doesn't respond. And I'm like, all right, tap, 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 tap. I know. It's good. Yeah, peace, inner and outer. Yeah. But seriously, This, what an opportunity for growth and change, the entire process. And by doing the online, okay, so I'm an online person. I'm one of those. So I've been super triggered all week because this is my first live experience. And doing the online course, and I've done a lot of, I was a research scientist in my former life, published, fancy pens, before getting ill, and then I was a science teacher, so I love the science behind this. And I was so excited during the online course just to, to learn the meat of it. And it's a really well put together training course, and then to come here live and experience this and learn all of this and be triggered beyond anything I ever imagined, but then to wake up the next day and be like, oh, wow, like I'm okay and I'm growing and I'm still healing. And so the way this whole system and learning more about how the system is set up it really is brilliant. I mean, some of the changes that have happened and how fast they happened. So on February 1st, I started working with Jean. And I called the office, I spoke to Romero, and I was like, what is this? Like, what is this tapping stuff? And he said, well, why don't you contact training? And it was Heather that was answering training. And she was kind enough to call me and speak to me. And I have a lot in common with Heather. I had almost every diagnosis. I had every diagnosis she did except one and a couple others. Different, a little different. And I was unable to travel to Live Level 1. And I spoke with Jean about it and spoke with Heather about it. And they're like, just do the online, get better, and then go to Level 2. Because there's no, I still wasn't allowed by my doctors to fly here. Maybe I don't have it anymore, a blood clotting disorder that they told me was genetic. I've been able to lower my blood thinners since starting this, which is amazing. And they're not my blood thinners, they're the blood thinners, which I'm working on. But that's just one of the many things. And the reason I was able to lower them is that after speaking with Heather and starting to work with Jean, after 6 sessions, and I came from a place where last year I was ready to die. I had sepsis twice, so I had crash carts called on me, medication reactions, food reactions. We had to leave our home. They found toxic mold in our home, and we had to move 8 times in 2 months. And there were, so by December I was worn out. I had steroid psychosis I had so many steroids last year, it destroyed my teeth, my hair, a third of my hair fell out. Like last year, I had thought it had been bad after I'd been in the hospital for almost 9 months in a row, had embolisms and almost died and lost my daughter, but last year took the cake and I was just done. And I was like, I have to, but I'm a very determined and type A person, and I'm learning to channel that in a healthy way, no, it's okay. It's in the past. So it's, these are things that I've done a lot of practitioner work, and I have a lot more to go. And because there are a lot of big issues, and that's okay, because we have this fantastic tool to deal with them now. And I was scared to tap on myself. And so I worked with Jean, and I dove into the course. But after 6 sessions, I woke up after being suicidal, wheelchair-bound, not able to drive for years, hadn't been in a restaurant for years, and I said, I don't feel sick anymore. Like I just woke up, and I knew that I wasn't sick anymore. And it's going to make me cry, and that's okay. They're good tears. Like I can't even describe to you what that feels like. And I went outside, and I walked to my car, and I got in my car, and I went, I can drive. And I got a little nervous, and so I tapped. And the anxiety went away. Because I'll tell you what, when you tap, when you're in it, like Robert says, I have knocked out trauma after trauma after trauma by being in it. That's why I wasn't in this room yesterday, after you guys know what went on, because I was in it. And that's the perfect time to tap. And it has healed so much through me, through this incredible, and I always hear Robert's head like, go to the places, go to the family reunions, and I'm like, I'm in the car, this is the family reunion for me. Like this is it. And I drove, and then my husband jumped in the car, and he was like, what the hell is going on with you? I was like, I'm gonna drive you around, and he's, oh, you're gonna do what? Like, I don't know if this is safe. And I was like, just trust me, it's cool, I'll tap if I need to. And he's like, don't you need both hands? No, it's cool, we'll be fine, we'll be good, we're good. So we drove, and then we went to Panera, and we got coffee together. And then we went to my favorite, the spot where we got engaged. It's this like water spot, and there's part, and we got my wheelchair out, and instead of riding in my wheelchair, I pushed my wheelchair and I walked that spot for the first time ever. And it was incredible. It was just absolutely, sorry. And the wheelchair, yes, I know. Yeah, you're right. But you know what I've learned? The wheelchair is a tool, and it's a tool on my healing journey. I've had to recondition. I was in a wheelchair for 8 years, 4 of those a power wheelchair because I couldn't sit up. I had to be reclined all the time. And so just being upright in a wheelchair was a big step. So it was, okay, so that was one of the big things. The other big thing that happened was I kept working very diligently with Jean. Jean and I have spent a lot of the poor lady because I am not quiet and I'm very animated, and I always laugh that our sessions are like exorcisms. And we were in the hallway yesterday. I was like, we're exorcising the demons in front of everybody. And I've had to tap on that. But the last thing I'll share is that on April 10th, I had needed daily IV fluids for 7 years just to be able to get out of bed because I would faint. My kidneys didn't retain fluids. And so I had like real diagnoses and some fake ones and some, and brain pain and all, like the whole gamut. And on April 10th, after having had 5 Metaports and 4 PICC lines, I woke up after a bunch of work that we had done and doing the online level 1 and tapping. I tapped like a mad woman for all of those months. The zero tolerance. That stuff works, guys. I mean, anytime anything popped up, let it go. Whatever it is, let it go. Let that crap go. I'll say the nice version of it. Okay, sorry, that was for me. And I woke up and my PICC line had broken. And before, this had been there when we were moving during the mold situation. I had 3 PICC lines within a week because they kept breaking and clotting up. I had a blood clotting disorder, and I have, resolving blood clots all throughout me, and so it's very complicated. I couldn't get ports anymore. I had to switch back to lines. I had so much nerve damage in this arm that they couldn't use this arm. By the way, it's gone, and I've had blood draws in this arm. 5 years of nerve damage in my right arm. Nerve damage, like diagnosed. And it's gone, and all this stuff is gone. I'm wearing very cheap jewelry. I had childhood allergy to metals. I love my cheap jewelry now. I can wear it again because those allergies are gone. The inflammation in my body has just come down. It's incredible. And I'm healing, but I have healed some of this stuff. Like it just has gone away and it has not come back, even this week, which is great because some stuff has come back this week, but I've been tapping it away and working with these amazing practitioners that we have here with this amazing system. So anyways, on April 10th, I woke up and my PICC line had broken. The PICC line had broken. And, excuse me. And so this is an emotional one for me because I was so reliant on those stupid fluids, and they had taken on the life of my ex-husband, and I had to tap that. It's so interesting how our brains link these things up. And so we did a whole lot of work, and when that PICC line broke, I was just like, you know what? I don't need another freaking PICC line out of nowhere. And I texted Jean, and I was like, Jean, I don't think I need it anymore. And she's like, okay. No, she's always, yeah. And we joke that I Hulk smash through things, instead of opening the doors. Sometimes you just got to Hulk smash through it and tap it out. And that's what happened that day. And I went into the hospital that had almost killed me and put me back into a wheelchair in 2015. And I went in there and I tapped out that trauma. And I was triggered, and they were about to do a surgery operation and pull out the lifeline that had been keeping me well, the only medication that had worked, that didn't give me side effects. So this was huge, metaphorically and literally, to come off of that. And you know what? I was okay. I was in that hospital, and anytime anything popped up, I was like, just let it go. It's a story. It's in the past. I'm safe right here. You know, and I just thought about all this amazing stuff that I've learned from this incredible system. And I stayed calm, and I was laughing, and I was teaching everyone about neuroplasticity and tapping, and they're like, what the hell are you doing? And I'm like, oh, it's a pattern interrupt. You know, and I was a science teacher, so I love to teach about stuff. And so this is my new passion, is teaching this to people, because there are so many hurting people like me that had no hope, and they had no coping tool and no way out. And so I want to encourage you guys. I'm sorry, I'm like way off course here, but I just want to encourage you guys, because you are the people that will find the people like me, and so am I. And we're going to go out and we're going to be able to help people that want to die, that have not had any way out before, and open all these doors. And I got that PICC line out, and I have not looked back. It has been, oh my gosh, and thank you. And it's, I went, and so because of that, a couple weeks ago, I went swimming with my children for the first time. And I had never been, I took a full shower for the first time in 8 years. I had lines in, you know, either IVs or PICC lines or Metaports. These things that people take for granted, again, that I just hadn't been able to do. And this week, and you know, the stuff with my kids, I'll start bawling if I talk too much about that, so I'm not going to go into that, because it's, you know, I get to be a mom again. I get to be a wife again. I get to engage with people again. I got to eat out twice in a week. I haven't eaten out in 2 years, you guys, because the smells would affect me. And so this week, that was really big for me. And so, Robert, thank you. It's such a brilliant system, and it's filled with such amazing people, which I think is a testimony to what an incredible system you've built. And so I thank you for creating this, and for training all these amazing people, and for giving me my life back. So that is it.